Hello everybody, thanks for coming down here to check out this video connected to this post about the 3 demon dialogues in marriage counseling. I'm so excited about this information because the post and that which is in it really fits with the mission and vision of Connections Family Counseling and the reason I started the practice in the first place. At the end, it says in the post that the solution to these 3 demon dialogues is connection. And that if you're struggling with these dialogues in your marriage, the way to get past them and the way to heal from the damage of these dialogues is through connection with your spouse, because it's in that safe connection with another human being that we can rest, we can feel safe, we can be vulnerable to talk about what's happening inside of us and the real things that are happening in relationship. And all this stuff really fits with why I started Connections Family Counseling. That's why the word connections is in the name, because I truly believe in building connections in faith and relationships. And in those connections, healing can happen. So, I wanted to share a quote with you from the book Created for Connection by Susan Johnson. And this comes from John Bowlby, the originator of attachment theory, and which is the theory that this book and these ideas are based on. In 1944, John Bowlby wrote an article, and he said this in the article: "Behind the mask of indifference is bottomless misery, and behind apparent callousness, despair." I was just struck by this quote, because many times when we're thinking about our spouse or other people in our lives who have hurt us, and we see callousness or we see indifference, we think, man, how's that person's indifferent? That person doesn't care about me. What a jerk. How incredibly rude. That person's evil. There's something wrong with that person. But what John Bowlby is saying here is no. If we can see that in that callousness and in that indifference is actually misery and pain and hurt, then that allows us to have more compassion for this person. So especially in relationship with our spouse, when your spouse says something that's hurtful, when you get stuck in one of these demon dialogues and feel criticized or separate from your spouse, I think the big thing in marriage counseling that I really work to focus on is helping each person, each partner, to understand that this dynamic is not coming from a place where their spouse is rude and mean and trying to hurt them. It's coming from a place of woundedness and hurt in oneself. And it's out of that need to protect and keep oneself safe that sometimes we do and say things that aren't very helpful in relationships. So I just wanted to share that quote because it really struck me, and it's something that I constantly try to remember when I'm working with couples, that this is coming out of pain and not out of spite. And if we can remember that about our couples, that about our relationships, whether it's with our children or our spouses, we can definitely be a long way towards healing that relationship and restoring that connection.